This is Larry Gray, and this is the second demo video that I'm going to produce for Arksoft. This one is about how to create Java Applets. Before I get into how to create Java Applets, I'm going to show you a couple of things. Things I didn't explain in the first video on how to create Java applications and both console and desktop applications. First, I'm going to show you how to find the console. You go to your Start menu, go to All Programs, scroll down to Windows System, and at the top here we have the command prompt. Click that, there's your console or command prompt. It's also the Windows shell. In the past this would have been the DOS command prompt, but for DOS, MS-DOS. A lot of the commands are the same as MS-DOS. You can look up Windows shell commands and get a complete list and see how to use them. I have created a folder here. Demo and Applets. That's where we're going to do our work today. You'll see that I use the change directory command to move around there. One other thing I want to show you. Let's go back to All Programs, to Windows System. If you right click on this, you will see where's that? Unpin from taskbar. I pinned it to the taskbar down here. Actually, we'll just close that, start over. Now, also, it's listed up here in the program menu. Go back to Windows System. You can pin it to the Start menu, and you can also pin it to the taskbar, which is what I usually do. So it's down in the taskbar. Now I'll just click it down here to bring it up. There's nothing in this folder. Start with oh yeah, there's one more thing I need to show you before we start this. Go to the Start menu. Now I've got it pinned up here, the Java control panel. So you can type in Java here to find it. Java. If you don't have it pinned, it'll come up under Programs, right there, Java. This brings up the Java control panel, and under Security, you can set this to very high and high. And you can also edit a site list of trusted sites. Okay, if it's very high, only Java applications identified by a certificate from a trusted authority are allowed to run, and only if the certificate can be verified it is not revoked. You switch it to high, same thing, except that if it can't verify whether or not it's been revoked, it'll still trust it. But this means that the code has been signed using a code signing certificate from a certificate authority that you paid for, or somebody's paid for. These cost about $70 per year, I believe. Now that's the minimum I've found. Otherwise, the next higher was $160, and they go up from there depending on which certificate authority you're getting your certificate from. Now I believe that the same certificate is attached to the individual, not to the software program or to the website. So it should work for every applet you ever write, the same certificate, for every Java Web Start application, for every tablet application, for every phone application. The same $70 a year certificate should work for all that. The way I understand it right now, anyway. But anyway, we'll come back to the Java control panel in a bit. So now, take a little break here to go to my game. This is a game called Free Colonization. Here's free. You can see it's Free Colonization 0.11.6. Anyhow, we'll bring up a browser here. I'll show you. Okay, there we go. Go to colonization.org. Here's where you can download this game. This game was written using the Java programming language and is a desktop application. This game is based on a game I played almost 20 years ago, Sid Meier's Colonization. Big fan of Sid Meier's games, and if I can, I've downloaded the source for this. I've looked at it some. I'm going to try to begin to learn the source and see if I can't help out on coding on this game, because it's a pretty good game, pretty good representation of the original one. It is a little buggy, and sometimes, I mean, the whole game plays well. The bugs aren't that significant, but it does have some bugs. Automating the ships and carts right now is not working. But anyway, another thing I'm going to show you right before here. freeciv.org. Yeah, that's one I did. freecivilization.org. Now this program was a remake of Sid Meier's Civilization 2. Very good remake. It was created with a C programming language. Wish it was done in Java, but it's not. Where I might help out on it. I played this one countless hours. I recommend it too. Anyway, go down here and run one turn anyway. Let's see. Got some things I wanted to do here. The basis of this game is it starts out in the 1500s. You set out with your ship from Europe with a single unit, or two units, a hardy pioneer and a free colonist. You set up your first settlement, and then you start to grow from there. You can deal with Indians, like over here is one little Indian settlement left. There's two. These are the Cherokee Indians. And then you fight your opponents, which, let's see here. Go down here to this box. Up here I've been fighting with the French in the blue, and I've been fighting down here with the Dutch in the yellow. I'm the red. Anyway, saw some movement there. Here we're inside a city. You can have carts here to haul stuff around, wagons, and ships for shipping. And then you have a bunch of your city buildings, which could all be upgraded from basic buildings to more productive buildings. Your units could all be trained and upgraded to be more productive. And I'm not going to explain too much more about it than that. Up here's what you're producing and using. Down here's what you have in your warehouse. And then if you click the warehouse, you can bring it up. And if you have a market later in the game, you can sell directly to Europe without having to haul it back and forth on ships. And up here, of course, it shows you your score, your gold, current tax rate, and the year. Up until about the 1600, the game progresses 1 year per turn, and then in 1600 it goes. I think at 1600 it goes from 2 turns per year, a spring and an autumn turn. Anyhow, I guess that's all I'm going to show you on that right now. I mean, if you want to move a unit around, like this unit right here, I can tell him to go somewhere. Tell him to go up here to this city. He moves up into that city, and there's 3 of them in that city. And if I want to, I can drag some, beavers over into the thing, or some coats, and then I can move them somewhere else. Same thing with the ships. Here I've got a ship, and it's already got things on it, no holes left in it. So how many holes you've got left? Ships have either 2, 4, or 6 holes. And the wagons have 2 holes. Anyhow, you can move things back and forth. For example, I'll put that down here so that the tobacco people can turn into cigars. And then I can move some more wood back up there for more. And if you go to Europe, here we're in Europe, you can buy and sell in Europe. When a ship's in port here, you can click on it, you can drag people from the docks to the ships. You can, for example, you can purchase little ships, cannon, you can train all your different units. You got enough money, 700 gold for expert lumberjack or miner I can afford right now. Recruit, these are, you recruit with money. On these guys, recruited him, and let's see, I guess you can set sail back to the New World. Well, there's no ship. I can show that, but anyway, it would give you a list of cities to go back to. Their coastal cities. Anyhow, this is a good game. Give it a chance. Give it a try. I've spent 16 hours in this game so far already. Now let's go back to the applets. First thing I need to do, we'll Notepad and create my applet.java. Yes. So first thing we're going to do is create the class definition. Public class my applet extends applet, open braces, close braces. Now, applet is a Java applet, so we need to import java.applet. We're also going to import for this java.auth.label for a text label, and import java.auth.graphics so that we can draw some graphics on the applets panel. Now, applets are a top-level container like the frame on a window, except they run inside a web page or in the applet viewer. Applets are a panel, an auth panel, which is a container, which is a component, and that extends objects. So that's kind of the hierarchy there. Applets run off of its browser process. WebStart, which is kind of replacing applets, runs in its own process. I'm not incorrect about that, I'm pretty sure I am. In its own frame, so that well, here's the situation. Chrome and Firefox have stopped supporting applets, though Internet Explorer and Safari still support applets. Chrome and Firefox also stopped supporting Flash, Macro Mini Flash, and some other technologies. But applets, in practice, they're not that useful. They were slow to load. I mean, it's not that they're not useful, it's that there's a better alternative, which is JavaScript. And pretty much anything you want to do with an applet, you will do with JavaScript instead. It's much cleaner looking, loads faster, and pretty well works better. But that doesn't mean that applets aren't useful, it's just they are what they are. And they're fun to play around with. The Applet API comes with some nice classes and methods for handling sound and images, working with graphics. It makes it kind of easy. So if you want to get started playing with graphical user interface, you probably want to play with applets and use the applet viewer. That's my recommendation. Don't worry about frames later. So next we need to add some kind of method. Applets have 4 primary methods that you don't have to use. You can use them. You might need to use them. You have the init method, which is for initialization, the start method, the stop method, and the destroy method, which is kind of like the finalize method in certain other situations. We're going to use the paint method and probably the init method. Let's see, you could probably also use a constructor, but paint method. Paint graphics. And also graphics is an interface. So to use a graphics class, you have to get it from this paint method or from an image object or buffered image object. So now we will do something. We'll draw something, draw a string or something like that. Let's see. So we will do draw G dot draw string my first apple. Well, we need to give coordinates. Now the coordinate system on this works from the top left corner of the frame or the applet, so that it's like the algebraic Cartesian coordinate system that's been flipped in the vertical or Y direction. 0 or Y counts up going down, and X counts up going across to the right. So that's typical of any computer graphics. We'll just give it a 30, 70 or something like that. Just give it some position out there, space. Now, that should be good enough for our first applet to demonstrate. In this case, we didn't need the labeling for it, but we'll use it in a minute. Save it, back out here and compile it. Applet.java. See, did good? Yes, we did good. So now we need to create an HTML file. It's not good enough just to use the class file. So we will notepad my applet.html. Yes. We will do HTML body. Oh, we can stick a title in here. My first applet. And then we will do equal 200, equal 200. And if you'd like to be, do things right, indent. That looks good. That. Now we can go down here and use appletviewer. Now, if you've set up your path correctly, and I've demonstrated how to do that in the first video, you should be able to type appletviewer, and you won't get a file not found, command not found. You'll get this list of options, so that's good. Appletviewer. My applet HTML. There we go. Now if you look here, there it is, my first applet. So the next thing we're going to do is just alter this a little bit, provide some color. We're going to need to import color. We're going to change the color of this. Let's make it green. And we're going to also do something else. We're going to draw a line, or a blue line or something. Okay, we'll start out at, okay, we'll do it 10, 15, 120, 150. Something like that. That looks good. Just, I'll save that. Okay, let me close the frame there. Now we'll do, we can just use our up arrow to use our history there. There we go, Java C map for the Java. Compile fine. Now we'll run our appletviewer. There we go. We drew the line right through the text, but that's okay. My first applet, green, blue line. So the next thing we're going to do is stick a label on it. So we'll go back in here and we'll put it in the init public void init label a label label world label. Then we will add a label. We'll add a label to this panel. Now what we're adding here is a component actually. Go back, compile it again. I have to view again. There we go, hello world label. Now you'll notice that the label, as you drag the window around, moves. It's because components are laid out on the panel using layout managers, and as you resize the frame, the layout is redone or reformed or whatever. So anyway, that pretty much showed you how to create an applet. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to run the applet in on your web page in your browser. This will be the Internet Explorer browser from your local hard drive. But first, we're going to jump back over to my game because I need to run a turn here. One thing I wanted to do is go in here. Okay, we got two guys there in that church. We need to maximize our. Whoops, no, I don't want to touch him. Did I mess him up? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, he's training that guy. One more turn, he'll be a miner. I don't know. Just throw somebody down here into the church. That brought up to 64 crosses. That'll help people that volunteer to come to the New World. We don't have to pay them to come to the New World. So you close that. Okay, they're going to ship. Okay, bunch of horses. Now we're in Newtown. Do they need horses? Yes, they do. I'm going to drag some horses over. Let's give them 50 horses. And Newtown has some horses, and they need rifles as well. 50 rifles. There we go. Close that. Got this ship coming around. Fredericksburg there. Okay, yeah. We're going to sell that. Sell that. Drop that off. Oops, too much there. Turns red, that means that you overload your warehouse and 12 will be wasted. So I'll put that back. 12 back. Okay, looking good there. Okay, close that. Let's go on. Okay, I got. Okay, what I need to do is go up here to my reports. Religion. Let's see, where's religion? Religious advisor. Shows all my churches. There's one here that I could put somebody in the church. That'd be good. Here, here, and here. You can't put anybody in the chapels to increase your crosses. You can put anybody in the church. Of course, it's best to have firebrand preachers. Let's see. Move him down to that church for a little while. Because he's a elder statesman. He's better off up here in the town hall. So close that. Go over here to this Charlesport. We'll move him down the church for a while too. So we get some new European recruits here. Move him down too. Okay. Get one more here. Yep, let's put him down there. Alright, and then we'll click the end turn button. You'll see some things going on after you end the turn. Units moving around, enemy units moving around, Native American units moving around. That's after your turn, it's everybody else's turn to go. So you're watching the Dutch move, and the French will move, Natives will move. Waiting for France. Okay, here we go. Back to, there's free colonists. I got a free colonist in Europe and give me there. One recruit. Let's see. Then you got the turn report. Now this goes down through here and shows you all your cities and things that need to be taken care of now. What you're really looking for is to make sure nobody's starving to death, because if you get your food gets too low, you will have some of your citizens starve to death. Usually it's the lower level citizens first, but I'm just going to close that. Alright. I'm not going to show you any more about that right now. This is called pre-colonization, written entirely in the Java programming language. Now, back to applets. The next thing I was going to show you was how to use the or view the applet in Internet Explorer. So I'll go up here to Internet Explorer, open it up. Now remember the Java control panel, so that's fixing to be needed. So here we enter C:\\applets/applet.html. If you try to run this in Firefox, it won't run. It'll just be a blank page. Okay, down here, Internet Explorer restricted this web page. Okay, allow block content. You need to see that. Click allow block content. Now, the applet's coming up. You see it trying to load over here. You see this over here. Security applications must now meet a requirement for the high or very high security settings be part of the exception, or be part of the exception site list to be allowed to run. More information. And location, tell you the security settings block the applet's running. So click OK. Brings up the Java console, which really doesn't tell you much. And if you close this and you click over here, click for details, it says your security settings have blocked a local application from running. Ignore does nothing. Details just brings up this Java console. Close that. You're thinking, oh my gosh, what should I do? You go over here to the Start menu, go to find your Java control panel again, go to Security, hit Site List, and we will add. Click in here, File : / got this file : / add, and it'll warn you. Are you sure you want to do this? Extremely risky. Your computer will blow up. It says location use the file protocol are a security risk and may compromise the personal information on your computer. Okay. So we're just going to ignore this and we're going to say yes, continue. We don't care. And then we'll click OK. And we'll click OK. Now, if you try to reload this, it won't work. You got to close the browser, close all tabs, open your browser up, back here and do it again. C:/demo/applets/ see, we're using slash and it's not telling us what's there, but we use /demo /, then we can select it. Now, down here it says we've got to allow block content one more time. Now, if you saw that pop up, this pops up, and now it says, do you want to run the application? An unsigned application located on your hard drive is requesting permission to run. And we want to say, yes, run. Guess what? There's our applet. Runs just fine. Now, probably any time you open it, let's try it, close it, and see what it does the second time. Close tabs. Go back up. Go back in here. C:/demo /applets/myapplet.html. See what it does this time. Yep, we got to do the same thing over. Only this time it runs without having to say run. It still warned us at the bottom though. So this was what your applet will look like out on the World Wide Web if it were loaded, but you can see up here we loaded it from a local hard drive and tested it in Internet Explorer. Now I did have to install the latest plugin, which I won't show you here, for Internet Explorer to get it to work, because the first time I tried it, it didn't work. Anyway, let's close that. Close tabs. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you, and the next sections of this video. If I continue this all the way through this video, this is a long video so far. So I'm going to show you next how to put the applet in a jar file and run it from a jar file, both from the Applet viewer and from Internet Explorer. Then the next thing will be to show you how to upload just a class, which normally you won't do. But you can just upload the single class file to your website and set it up and run it from your website from the single class file or from the jar file, which I'll also show you how to do. I'll show you on Arksoft.org how to do that, and in WordPress how to set up your page for it. And then after that, I will show you how to self-sign the jar file, and then we'll upload that and see how that works. Also run it from the local hard drive, see how that works. Then I'm probably going to buy a certificate, code signing certificate, and show you how to use that to sign the jar file with the code signing certificate. And then we'll experiment with that. We'll load that up to the website and see what kind of grief it gives us about trying to run it after we've done everything the absolute most secure and official way. After that, that will be the end of this video, or the series of videos. Let's go back to the game for a second. So now we're back to the game. Okay, we got here's a master tobacco planter. I'm going to put him over here, and he's going to plant tobacco. He's producing 10 tobacco leaves. I also need a probably a tobacco, whatever you call them, expert tobaccoist in here that'll make cigars. But, the main thing in this game is your food. You got to keep this food growing. I got a lot of food here, a lot of farmers going. I got the fisherman going. Well, that's not a fisherman. He's actually a firebrand preacher working as a fisherman. No, he's a weaver working as a fisherman. But somewhere around here, well, no, I don't have a fisherman. Yeah, the fisherman's over here training another fisherman. So this guy will become a fisherman in 3 turns. So I need a lot more fishermen. Got this city over here needs 4, and I got this city up here needs a bunch. Anyhow, I'm not going to show you more of that right now. Maybe later. Reports are kind of neat on this. You got all kinds of reports. Labor advisor shows you where all your units are at. Click on one, it'll show you exactly what cities they're in, how many in each city. Petty criminals 13 in these cities. Got 3 in Williamsburg. Yep, they're hard at work fishing there. Anyway, that's the free colonization. I think I'm going to wrap this video up. It's been a pretty long one, and then I'll start the next video with what I discussed earlier that we'll go over next. So this has been Larry Gray. This is a demo for Arksoft.org. I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned something.